Hi, everybody. We'll start with a story. How am I doing? Am I okay with this? Is this okay? Can you hear okay? You don't have challenges with these little things. So we're going to start with a little story. And this is a character called Nonna Sophia, and she's a wise grandmother. Nonna Sophia was sitting with a group of children. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" she asked. "A doctor," said one. "A teacher," said another. Each shared their dreams for the future, all except one little child. "What about you?" Sophia asked. "What do you want to be?" "I want to be possible," was the reply. "Possible? What do you mean?" asked Sophia. "Everyone says to me, 'You are impossible.' So when I grow up, I want to be possible." "So shall you be," said Sophia. And so shall we allow ourselves to open up to infinite possibility. So we begin our third lesson in our Prosperity Summit, the art of allowing. Because prosperity is all about flow. We are constantly in a state of flow. So I want you to pause for a sec, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As you breathe in, there are thousands of biochemical processes going on to ensure that every cell gets its share. There is no competition, no lack, no limitation, just flow. You breathe out, and the cells release that which doesn't serve them. You don't have to think about it or control it. We take in, we use, we release. In and out. Flow. There is no question about the nature of this flow. It just is. You can open your eyes now. We allow our bodies to do what they do. We don't try to beat our heart or digest our food. We allow our bodies to do that. And so it is with the creative process. Flow means allowing the breath to flow in and out, allowing ourselves to open up more and more to the flow of life. So I want you to try something for me. Is this thing okay? I want you to close your eyes again and take a deep breath. But on the out breath, I want you to go, ah. Okay. Breathe in. Ah. Can you allow yourself the ah? Can you feel that ah? That's the flow. Ah. So the next time you're feeling a little, that little resistance, just release. Good. Okay. So in reflecting on the concept of flow, some images came to mind that for me illustrated this art of allowing. We begin with allowing ourselves to have our own process and release. So just as our cells need to take in and inhale and exhale, we need to allow ourselves to process thoughts and emotions and discern whether they serve us or not. Things come up in our lives. We bump into things that cause us to react emotionally. There may be stored up emotions that we're hanging on to that could be released as well. And so we allow ourselves this process and then release. And an example came to my mind, and that's the movie Under the Tuscan Sun. I'm guessing most of you are familiar with Under the Tuscan Sun. Well, the main character, her name is Frances, and she has gone through a very bitter, awful divorce. And she winds up in Italy and buys a villa in Italy. And so in the course of settling into that, at one point early in the movie, she has a total meltdown. And her estate agent happens to be there, and he's been helping her fix things, and she's just having this meltdown, what am I doing? Da, 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 da. And it's as though all of that pent-up stuff has just come out in that moment. And so he just listens and allows her process. And then as she begins to sort of settle down and relax into the moment, he asks her, so what do you want? What do you want? And then she takes that in and she pauses, and then she realizes why she's there and what she wants to create with this villa that she has. And she wants to create family, and she wants to create togetherness and community. She wants to have a wedding in this big, beautiful property. And towards the end of the movie, he comes up to her at this huge wedding that they're having, and he goes, come here. He goes, guess what? You got everything you wanted. You have a wedding. You have a family, because one of her best friends came and had a baby there, and she took her in. It was just this wonderful experience. And you're cooking for hundreds of people, and this house has become a center of love. You got what you want. And she goes, oh yeah. And you can see her just taking that in. And so this process, again, in our lives, it's a flow. Just like the tide comes in and out, we have this process of ebb and flow in our lives. And allowing is allowing ourselves that process. So I have a slide, and I think my thing is doing it. Yeah, it came off. So we're just going to. So the image that came to mind was the onion. Because we have layers of things. You know, we start with the outer layer of something, and we work on it, and then sometimes it spirals around again, and we get to another layer of it. And so the image that came to my mind is that, you know, something comes up that we really need to process. And so the image I had was that we kind of work through it, and we get deeper into it, and we keep working through it, and we get deeper into it. And as we go through the layers, we start to release stuff, and we start to get insights, and we start to learn from it. As we allow ourselves to release the emotion and release the limited thinking around that emotion, and eventually we get to the center, and we're just there, and we're just in our process. And we can relax, and we can be. And then we move back out into the world, because we've allowed ourselves to release this, and we create room in our psyche for new ideas. We create room to expand our vision of what's possible for ourselves. Does that make sense? Okay. And so we remember this kind of helps us also remember the breathing metaphor. If we're in a process, we allow ourselves to release it. This isn't about, you know, stuffing our emotions. It's allowing ourselves to feel and express that in a safe way, and then we release it, because we don't want to create from that limited place. We want to create from the place of expansiveness. But sometimes we have to go through this process of allowing ourselves to release and let go. And so I found a wonderful quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. Listening to and understanding our inner sufferings will resolve most of the problems we encounter. So allow ourselves that process, free up some room in our consciousness. And that leads me to my next slide, allowing creation. So now we've done our process, and we've walked this, you know, we've walked our internal spiral, and we've released some layers, and now we're in the middle here, and we're ripe for creation. Okay. I start to get some ideas. I start to entertain new possibilities, the what ifs, right? Remember the what ifs and the who saises? Okay. And so the image that came to mind was the flower, how a flower starts tightly wound, right? And then it opens up, and it opens up, and it opens up. And so this spiral is about the layers of creation. We get an idea, and we start working with that idea, and working with that idea, and developing that idea. And now we're in the middle of it, and we become it. we embody that new thing that we're wanting to create. And so we can think about in our creation process, what kind of person do we want to be? What do we want to have in our lives? How do we want to interact with people? And we start to ask ourselves those open-ended questions, and our flower starts to bloom. And this is an ongoing process. We can do this every day, every week, that as stuff comes up, we can use this little tool to help us remember, oh, this is just another layer. Okay, I'm going to process it, and now I'm going to create another layer in my flower. Okay? So the thing to remember is the possibilities are endless. That's our goal, is to allow ourselves to remember in every moment the possibilities are endless, right? So I want you to close your eyes again. Take a deep breath. And this time again, I want you to put your hand on your heart. And I want you to imagine you're in the center of the creation spiral, and you've got this beautiful flower in your heart. What are you going to allow yourself to create? What do you want to allow yourselves to do? Is there something that you've been putting off that you really want to do? Is there some way you want to interact differently in the world? Is there some project you can't wait to get started? Is there some aspect of yourself you want to develop? What do you want to open up to? What do you want to allow yourself to consider? What do you want to allow yourself to dream about? Like, wow, what if I really could? What if we're really possible? We're allowing ourselves to open up and expand what might be possible. Maybe we could. Can you feel that? Just feel that in your body. What if? Wow. Okay, come back. Come back. So just remember that. Our bodies are a wonderful tool. Another image that has come to my mind is that we are spiritual beings and we're physical beings. And so our spirituality and our physicality work in tandem. Our spirituality informs our physical existence. We have wisdom, we have courage, we have inspiration. And then our physical body supports our physical being. We take care of our body, it gets us place to place. When we get a really good idea, we have to use our body to go do that thing. And so there's this wonderful symbiosis between the physical and the spiritual. So remember the ah. Remember that ah, okay? And so let's go to the next slide. So this is just a summary. We have in one corner the allowing, the process, allowing the release, and down in the other corner is allowing the creation. Okay, and if you want, I made some little copies of this one, and if anybody wants to take it home for homework, I have little ones in the back. So why the art of allowing? It's an art because it requires discernment and practice. We allow our spiritual nature to inform our physicality, and our physicality to support our spiritual nature. And there's this wonderful symbiosis between the physical and the spiritual. It's a little dance that we do. So we allow. And so I want you to close your eyes again, and I want you to feel yourself in your physical body. And now, try to feel the space around your body, maybe about an inch out. Feel the space around your body. And now maybe 3 inches out. Feel the space around you, 3 inches out. Okay. And now feel maybe 6 inches out. Feel yourself expand. We are energy beings as well as physical beings. Okay, and now fill that space with your love. Go into your heart and fill the space around you with love. And now we're going to combine all of our energies. Imagine that we are now combining all of our energies. We're in flow, we're in connection. And we're all filling this room with our love. We're in the flow of energy. We're in the flow of the energy that we call love. And we're filling this room with the infinite possibility that is love. Very good. Okay, you can come back. So it's out there. I mean, I don't know if you guys could feel it, but the whole energy just changed in the room. It was amazing. You guys are very good at opening your hearts. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay. So we use our spiritual tools. We have prayer, we have meditation, we have journaling, we have self-awareness to help us discern where we want to allow ourselves to release and create. Because every day we're in flow every day. And so part of the allowing process, part of the creation process, is just really noticing where we're in ebb and flow. Where we're in, okay, I'm in a little ebb right now. Let me go to my process, let it go, and now I'm going to be in my creation. Think about the tides. Tide goes in, tide goes out. We breathe in, we breathe out. And so this process of allowing is putting yourself into that little dance of ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. And so we take time to go in our prayer time, we take time to go in, and you can use this little spiral rubric if you'd like. And then we come back out and we've created. We feel expansive and we've created. Okay. And so we allow ourselves to open up to opportunity, to change. I think that's one of the things that we have to really think about in general is we just had that expansive place, very expansive place. And now our spiritual nature has informed us that, okay, well, maybe we really do need to take that dance class. Or maybe I really do need to write that article because that would help me expand my contacts. Do you see what I mean? So it's about changing. Our intuition, our spiritual nature is going to give us these ideas of what do we need to do differently in our lives to allow this flow to continue to flow. You kind of get where I'm going with this? So it's about being open and allowing change, right? We have to be open to change in our lives. And so be aware of that. We have to allow others their process. We have to be aware that others have to have their process too. We don't necessarily have to be impacted by that, but we can notice and allow others their process, okay? And we can allow ourselves to have our experiences and then unpack them as necessary. So to close, I want you to stand up. And I want you to put your hand over your heart just for a second. Go back into that place, that open place. And now you take your hand away, open your eyes, and I want you just look around and connect, heart to heart. Just look around and connect. You can stay right where you are. Just look around, catch people's eyes, and just connect. Allow yourself to open up and connect. Very good. Okay, you can sit down. So we allow flow, we allow our experience, we allow ourselves to feel and release, and we allow ourselves to connect. All is well. And so I have a reading by Anthony DeMello that I thought summed things up. When the eye is unobstructed, the result is sight. When the ear is unobstructed, the result is hearing. When the mind is unobstructed, the result is truth. And when the heart is unobstructed, the result is joy and love. Let's affirm. I allow my good flows forth freely and fully. Let's say yes. You get another, okay, when do you want a big one? Yes! Very good.